Hey guys, here, Gene, welcome to the GTA 5 car v car episode of the Coquette going against the Furore GT. Previously, we compared the Felter to the Furore GT, but we found out that the Felter completely annihilated the Furore GT. There's no point in comparing the Massacre or the 9F to the Furore GT whatsoever, because those cars are the top of the class, and you can sort of see where the Furore GT is currently standing at. So the cars that are remaining to compare against the Furore GT will be the Serrano, Comet, as well as the Banshee. That's going to be it. You know, everything else is not necessary to be compared against the Furore GT. So we got now the Coquette going against the Furore GT, which is another highly demanded one that you guys wanted to see. So the handling, for this point of view anyway, for Coquette is certainly more efficient, and it's got a much better turning circle. We carry more speed around corners than the Furore GT. You know, it's very predictable. The Coquette does have the tendency to slide about whenever there's little bumps and whatnot. But other than that, you know, it's a very good car. It's very responsive. You know, having to turn left or right at high speeds, you can certainly do so. Whereas Furore GT, like we said time and time again, it's not efficient, it's unpredictable. It does have the tendency to understeer at the same time, oversteer as well. So you got to really sort of pay attention to that, like we say time and time again. So definitely Coquette has got better handling. I think most of the sports in this sort of class has got better handling. Maybe that's going to be questionable with the Comet. We'll find out in that episode. But acceleration, the sort of what you notice there is the Furore GT's got more rear spins, but the initial acceleration over acceleration is greater and better than the Coquette. Although you saw there the general sort of Coquette's what do you call it? The launch speed. That's the one. Bloody fish Nora. Launch speed, right, is greater on the Coquette, but that's not acceleration. Acceleration is better with the Furore GT, as you noticed there. The only thing, like I said, man, is the rear spins. But in this case, for top speed, man, the top speed is certainly one of those things where it was interesting. You know, Furore GT certainly takes a very long time to reach its top speed. It literally takes up to the bridge. You go up to the bridge now, that's when it hit its peak, right? Whereas Coquette and most of the sports cars hit it right away. So around this point is where the top speed kicks in with the Furore GT, with the final gear and the maximum speed exerted from that car. That is it. You see the gap pretty much increasing further and further from this point. So right here is where the top speed is pretty much reached, and it will keep going at this point, right? So literally, it's one of those things, man. It's weird. It's a weird car, man. Torque. This was a nice battle. Took a while, but the Coquette does have slightly more torque, produce more torque than the Furore GT. Now the initial damage test, you see there, $375 to repair for the Coquette. Furore GT on the other hand is $327, slightly more durable, currently making it 3-2 for the Furore GT. However, the customization of the Coquette completely smashes the Furore GT. As we know, Furore GT's got no customizable options whatsoever. How many times have I said Furore GT in this episode? Let me think real quick. I don't know, who gives a shit? At the same time, see the amount of options the Coquette has, and imagine this many options for other cars by their own unique mods, man. That is what they should have done, or what they should be doing every single time in every single DLC. At least give something back to the community that people want to see, man. Come on, Rockstar, you got big game here with so much potential. It's literally like a sandbox, brother. Bring it on, man. Why you gonna long things out? Why you gotta be so quiet, man? Come out the closet, motherfuckers. Anyway, right now I've got a lap time test real quick. This is interesting because now we know, you know, the launch speed is very good for the Coquette. However, you know, the top speed's not great, and the acceleration's not great. So what do we know here? Why is the Coquette doing so well around these corners? Well, handling, people. Handling is important, man. You gotta have that turning circle. You gotta carry that speed around the corners. So in a lap, sort of in a circuit, right? If you're doing a racing, you know whatnot. If you want efficiency and carry speed at the same time, you're gonna go with the Coquette over the Furore GT, of course, 100%, man. Although you got like insane, you know, straight line speed and whatnot with the Furore GT, not insane. That's over exaggeration, because obviously on a normal straight, on an actual circuit, on a racetrack, you know, you're not really gonna reach your potential with the Furore GT, as it takes a long time to reach the top speed anyway. So that is where you're sort of losing out with the car, right? Handling and its top speed, which doesn't reach quick enough, you know what I'm saying, an actual race circuit. So that's what you see here. Coquette will sort of take it with ease, about 1.5 seconds quicker, you know what I'm saying. So it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things where you sort of, when you put things together, it makes sense, you know what I'm saying. So 104, I say that, 102, 1.5. So Coquette does take it, and that's sort of once again one of those battles, man. certainly for efficiency, we want to go with Coquette and the customization mods and whatnot. For luxury and looks, you obviously want to go with Furore GT. Other than that, Furore GT is not necessarily one of those cars to choose for racing like we just seen from these comparisons. Check out Furore GT to see the complete decimation there, annotation screen. Thanks for watching. If you guys find this video useful, be sure to drop a like and let me know if there's any other comparisons I'm missing out. But certainly, like I said, just wait till next year with 44 days left. And that is where all the exciting stuff's going to happen. And hopefully things will look great for GTA 5. Bring more mods, man. Check you soon. Not gonna peace. Yeah.